What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to show you completely step by step how to upgrade your firmware on the Ender 3 V2 to the TH3D Unified 2 firmware. Let's check it out. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the TH3D website and we're going to download their firmware. Everything I'm doing, I'm basically following their written guide. I'm more of a visual learner. I do better following with videos for the most part than reading through a guide. So if the guide works better for you, or I didn't explain something correctly or you didn't understand it, use this guide as a reference to go ahead and double check and make sure, or if that helps you understand it better. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to download the Unified 2 firmware right here. So we're going to click on this and download it. And we have to update the LCD screen, and we have to the LCD screen on the printer, and we have to update the firmware. And you have to update the LCD screen first. So once this is done downloading, we'll go ahead and extract that. So now that it's done downloading, we're going to click on it right here, click Show in Folder. And then we're going to right click on this and click Extract All. I'm going to go ahead and keep it here in my downloads, but you're welcome to click Browse and change it to your desktop, wherever you like to save it at. But I'm just going to extract it right here in my downloads folder. You want to also have an SD card handy. We have to put firmware on the SD card for the LCD screen and for the printer itself. So, and again, this is a pretty large file. As you can tell, it's taking quite a while to extract, and it took a second to download too. So I'll fast forward the parts where I'm not talking. It's just files downloading or extracting or whatever. But yeah, you'll want to have your SD card handy. So now that this is done extracting, as you can see, it just created another folder right here that's available for us. We're going to go into LCD firmware, Ender 3 V2, and then this is there's another file in here that needs to be extracted, another zip file, Ender 3 V2 LCD update. So we're going to right click, extract all, and extract this, and then that's done quickly. And as you can see, it just created another file here in that same folder, and this is what we want, this DWN set. So we're going to right click this and click copy. Do it a couple times to make sure you can Control V, whatever you want to do. So now that we have an SD card, remember I said you're going to need your SD card. You want to put that in your computer. I'm going to navigate to the SD cards here, or you can just click on my PC. And then I already have stuff on my SD card, but you have to format your SD card, and it has to be FAT32 formatted. I don't know what the heck that means. It's just a format type. If you're on Windows 10, I believe you're good to go. You have the default right here. It says FAT32. It could be specific to the SD card. I believe it is specific to the SD card. I just have a scan disk. I believe it's the SD card that came with the printer. It's a scan disk, 8GB card, small one. But anyways, you want to make sure it says FAT32 right here. Most people should have that available. If you don't, you can just do a quick Google search, how to format FAT32, and I believe there's a little program you can download for free and use. But anyways, we're going to click Start. It's going to say it's going to erase everything. Yes, that's totally fine. It'll take a second here. It should say finished. Yep. Format complete. Click OK. Click Close. Now this is completely formatted. We're going to click on it. And now that we already copied that DWN set folder, we're just going to click Paste. And that pastes this folder in here. So now we're going to close this, and we're going to take the SD card out of the computer, and we're going to take it over to the printer, and I'll meet you there on the other on the printer. So now we're at the printer. We have our SD card right here with the firmware on it, and you're going to need the, I couldn't remember what size it was, but one of your Allen keys for your that came with your printer, and we're going to pop the LCD screen off. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. You just slide it up. I'll set the camera down so you can see what I'm doing. You push up and it slides right off. Flip it over, careful of your cables. So again, there is, careful of your ribbon cable there. You don't want to pull it too tight. But there's 4 Allen key screws that we want to take out here in each corner. I'm going to go ahead and take those out now. So now that we have, you could probably also pop your cable off. I'm not sure if it slides right off. Every time I've done this, I have not done that. So now we have to pop off the back. It kind of clips in. It's a little tight to do, but if you peel the edges back, you can get it to pop out by holding onto these. I'll set the camera back down. You can watch me do it. Kind of just pops off. Be careful of your ribbon cable. Again, be careful of your ribbon cable. And as you can see right there is an SD card slot. We're going to put the SD card in that slot. See if I can do this one-handed. Sorry if it's a shaky camera. It slots in facing up. Sorry, I'm not even showing you what I'm doing. There we go, I got it in. Sorry, I wasn't able to keep it in frame. So you get it in there, push it down until it clips. And now that it's down, and your SD card slots, or your SD card's in there, we're going to flip it over so we can see. And we want to power the machine on now. And it should change from, I believe, blue to orange or red, whatever they call it, if it goes correctly. So we'll turn it on, wait a second for it to boot. Blue to orange, hopefully, if I did it right. Boom, so we're in business. So now your LCD screen is up to date with the the Unified firmware, and it's ready to update your board. So I'm going to take the SD card out. Actually, we can turn the printer off now. So now that it's done, you can just wait a second. After it's orange, that means it's completed. So now I'm just going to take the SD card back out and put the LCD screen back together. Now that we've put in the screen or the back cover back on, you don't want to get these too tight as well too. This is just plastic, so don't get crazy with them. Make sure your ribbon cable isn't twisted, or if it is, not very much at all. Put our LCD screen back on there. Should go up high, and then push down and lock it in place. It's good to go. I'll meet you back over at the computer, and we'll start working on the firmware for the main board. So now that we have our firmware flashed to our LCD screen, the next thing we need to do is get the firmware for the main printer itself. And we're going to go back to the TH3D site. Again, I'll have this step linked as well in the description of the video. Again, I'm still following their guide. This is just their setup on how to do it. I'm making a video tutorial for it. So the first thing we're going to download is VS Code. I'll tell you what we're downloading. We're downloading two things, VS Code and Python. And then we're going to download an extension within VS Code, and I'll walk you through that. So the first thing we're going to get is VS Code. Click on the download page. We're going to select what type of operating system we're on. I'm on Windows, so I'm going to download that. It's going to start downloading. Again, I already have these programs installed and ran, but I'm just doing it over again with you guys. So once it's done downloading, click right here, click Show in Folder. Should have taken us to our downloads, and there's the VS Code installer. I'm going to run it. Let it run. It's probably going to say, do you want to repair it? I'm just going to go through it again. Accept. Create desktop icon. Sure. Add the path. Sure, that's fine. Leave that alone. Click install. It's going to do its thing. And now that it's finished, I don't want to launch it just yet, but because we're going to grab Python. So I'm just going to click that and click finish. Minimize this, go back to the downloads page we were just at, and go to the Python download or installation page. and we're looking for the latest version of Python. So download Python. At the time of this video, it's 3.9.1. We're going to click download. Wait till it finishes downloading. Once it's done, click on the drop down arrow, click show in folder. Here's Python. I'm going to click on it again to run it. See, I already have it installed. You just want to go ahead and run through this. I'll click repair just to make sure we can go through it all. It's going to install it all. You should just click run or install normally, but again, I already have this on here. It shouldn't hurt anything to just do a repair process. All right, it says repair successful. Now we're going to close that, and now we're good to go to open up into VS Studio. So we'll close that, close that. All right, now that we have VS Code installed, we have Python installed, we have the firmware installed on the on our LCD screen. We're gonna reformat our firmware, or excuse me, reformat our SD card again for the board firmware. So go ahead and open up your File Explorer, go to this PC, and we're navigating to our SD card. So however you want to get there, but right click on it, click Format. Remember, again, it has to be FAT32 formatted. I'm going to click Start. It's going to ask you, it's going to erase everything. Click Yes. It's going to take a second. It's completely formatted. We'll close out of that, close out of that. Now we're going to open up VS Code. So open up VS Code, and yours might look a little different than mine. I've already done this and I already have the other plugin installed, so it could look a little bit different. Don't worry about that. All you're looking for right here is the extensions. So right here on the extensions, you want to click on your extensions, and then we're going to search for Platform IO. So type it out, and it will be this one right here, Platform IO IDE, and there's a little install button. Mine's already installed, obviously, but just click install, or you can click install from on this side as well too. If you don't have Python already installed, it's going to ask you to do that again, but you should have already done that, so not a big deal. This is a fairly large download, so it might take a minute. A couple of these downloads that we do, or the firmware things, some of the files are large, and depending on your computer speed and your internet speed, it could take longer than you might think. So don't worry about it. Let it do its thing, though. Also, too, it gives, sometimes it likes the program to restart after you installed Platform IO. So now that we've installed this, we're going to close VS and just reopen it up again. So VS Code after you've installed Platform IO, and yeah, we open it back up. So once it's done loading, this thing will pop up again. If you don't want that to show up every time, you can just click this show at startup. It doesn't really matter to me. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go over here, we're going to click on File, and we're going to click Open Folder. Okay, so we're going to open the folder, and we're going to navigate back to the original firmware we downloaded off the TH3D website. It was the very first thing we downloaded. It's TH3D Unified Creality V2X, and we're going for the firmware folder. So click on the firmware folder, click Select Folder. That's going to download that, or it's opening that, excuse me, not downloading it, I guess. I'm not sure what the technical term it's doing is. So now we're going to go into Marlin here, and we're going to go, once this opens, you got these different options here. We're going into Marlin, then we're going into configuration.h, and then this is, I don't know if this is technically the firmware or not, but anyways, we have to define, this is all the different types. I don't know, I could be explaining this wrong, but I'm going to give it to you in layman terms. Basically, this is like the default firmware, and you get to turn on which options you want for the firmware. So we have so right now we have to define what board we have. So at the very top, sorry, I probably shouldn't have scrolled up and down, I was just messing around. So it says right here, they do a good job laying out everything in their firmware. So TH3D made this. So it says uncomment the defined line for what board you have. So we have the, I don't know where the Ender 3 V2 boards with the 4.2.7 came from, but my Ender 3 came with the 4.22 board. So this one right here. So this is my printer. So again, you want to read these and make sure that you're selecting the right one. So this is the Ender 3 and this is just a regular Ender 3. This is the Ender 3 with that board. This is the Ender 3 V2 with the 422 board, is which I have. This is the Ender 3 verse V2 with the 4222 board, or 422 board, excuse me, that's the same one. And then Ender 3 V2 with the 427 board. So we're going to take out, what it means to uncommon is to remove these two hash marks right here. And that lets this program know that that is the firmware you are running. So all I did was remove those two hash marks. If you're not sure what board you have, I'll throw a picture up on mine. I'll overlay it in the video here. But if you take off the bottom panel on your board, it says what board it is. I'm pretty sure all of the V2s shipped with the 4.2.2. I could be wrong, but I'm like 90% sure. I'll look into that and leave an annotation on the screen here if that is the case, or if they didn't ship with that. But anyways, this is basically it. So we tell the firmware, this is the board we have, so to compile that type of firmware. And then if you're using other things here, you would just turn them on. So it says if you're using an EZOut V1 or V2, it tells you how to do it here, and you just turn it on. So if you already have, like, let's see here, ABL, where is the ABL? If you had the EZABL, these are settings you can change for it here. Extra features and tweaks, you can change other things here. I didn't do anything else in this. You don't need to do anything else. End of configuration settings. To turn on your EZABL, where the heck was it? I'm pretty sure that was it. One second here. If you're using an EZOut, no. Extruder options. If you have an EZABL, you turn on one of these here. I don't have one, so I didn't turn it on. I thought it just said right here. Anyways, that's not what we're doing, sorry. It's one of these settings in here. I saw it earlier. You just do the exact same thing. It says if you're using an ABL, you delete or you remove these two hash marks, which uncommons it and turns it on. If you're using EZOut, do not. Anyways, we're good to go now. So if you're just trying to upgrade the firmware and you're not turning on the EZABL, you would, after you undefine or uncomment, whatever you want to call it, the correct board you have, down here in the bottom left, we want to click this little check mark that says Platform IO Build. And this is going to compile all the firmware and build it out as to what board you selected, Oh, it says failed. I wonder what happened there. Okay, we're going to try it again. Shouldn't have failed. I don't know why that happened. It says building, scanning. Yeah, maybe it messed up. I guess that's kind of good to see that it can happen, it can fail, or why it failed. I don't know why it did, but it shouldn't have. And it's building the firmware. This could take a while too as well, if your computer speed is not very fast, or your internet speed. I don't know if it's using your internet speed or not right now, but yeah, something to be aware of. Alright, so now that it's done building, we can see down here it says environment system 32, Creality success. We're good to go. It took us 31 seconds. So now we want to go up here to the firmware. It says .pio. Click on that, go to build, and then we're looking for this folder right here, STM32 Creality. So you can, this is the folder that we want. You can either right click right here, this is what I recommend doing, right click it and click reveal in File Explorer. And that opens it up. You can navigate to it manually if you want, but it's just easy to do that. So this is the folder here, open this up, and then this is what we're looking for. So the only thing that you care about is the .bin folder. This is the most current firmware version right here. It should automatically generate a different number every time, so if you compiled it multiple times, it's going to generate this number. But this is what we want right here, this .bin folder. So we're going to right-click this, click Copy, and then we're going to go back to this PC right here, open up your SD card that is freshly formatted to FAT32, open it up, right-click, Paste, and boom, you got your firmware.bin on there, and we're ready to put this into the printer. So I will close this, get my SD card, and meet you over at the printer. Alright, so we're back over here at the printer. We've got our SD card that we just put our firmware on. We're going to put it in the printer, upside down obviously, slide it in there, and then we're going to power it on. And when it's in the bootloader mode, it should take a couple seconds. It won't do anything, and the screen will just stay blank, and then it'll boot up with the new firmware. So give it some time, It should be about done any second now. Boom! TH3D! Got the new firmware. So now we are good to go, guys. As you can see, you can navigate it. Some of the menus are updated better. They've fixed some of the grammatical errors that were in there. They've just made everything a lot nicer. It's just better firmware all around. I've used a couple different kinds now, and so far I like the TH3D the best. Yeah, that's it. I'm going to go ahead and power it back off. You're good to go now. I don't think you need to do anything else. Just double check it now. Nope, it automatically loads the firmware on there. You're good to go. You can format your SD card and start using it for whatever you want. Sorry this video took so long to get out. I was working on it for a couple days and then got sidetracked for some other things. The next video I'm going to do is I'm going to use the Smith 3D software and try to reinstall this. This is a Bltouch. It's a kit that comes directly for the Ender 3 V2. It's got a mounting bracket that's made for it. You don't got to do any soldering or modifications or anything. And I'll show you guys how to do that. We'll put that on, and we'll do the Smith 3D software. I've also heard really good things about that, and I haven't tried that yet, though. So hopefully that works out good. Also, too, when we hit about 500 subscribers, we're going to do a giveaway. So if you're not subscribed to the channel, we'd really appreciate it if you drop a like, a comment, and subscribe. Even if you don't like or we did something wrong, let me know in the comments. I'd like to improve. We're just starting this YouTube thing, and I'm still pretty new to 3D printing myself, and I'd like to improve. So I'd appreciate all the constructive criticism and feedback I could get from you guys. But anyways, at 500 subscribers, we're going to do a giveaway. We do FPV and we do 3D printing on this channel. So if once we hit 500 subscribers, we'll do a giveaway. If somebody wins that's interested in 3D printing, we'll give away a 3D printing thing. If it's something that's somebody interested in FPV, we'll give away an FPV thing. So it's going to be totally up to the winner to check that out. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate your time. Let me know if you had any questions. Also, too, we're starting a Discord server for 3D printing and FPV people, so I'll link that in the description as well. If you have any questions, again, please check out the description or hit me up on Discord. You guys have a good day. Thanks for watching. Peace.